Insect Club! I'm so excited to start a remote after school program with you guys. I thought insects would be fun because you can go and try to find them outside after we talk about them. Today we are going to learn about 4 different insects. The first one is a millipede. Millipedes are interesting because they can be found all over the world, okay? And they're really important to the ecosystems, or the places that they live, because they help decompose plant material. Do you guys know what it means to decompose plant material? In really basic terms, it means that they break down the plants into smaller pieces. So I know at Coventry school they used to have a compost pile, and in a compost pile, that's what happens to all the food scraps. They're decomposed into soil. Another interesting thing about millipedes is that even though the word millipede means 1,000 feet, they don't actually have 1,000 feet. Most of them have closer to 100 feet, or 100 legs. Another thing, millipedes aren't mean, they don't bite people, but they do have a secretion or a liquid that when you pick them up, they'll put it on your hand and it can cause some irritation. So it's best that when you're looking for millipedes, you don't pick them up or catch them in your bug catcher, you just look at them, okay? And they can be really cool to look at. Tips for finding millipedes. Millipedes can be found in piles of leaves or under rocks. They can be found in garbage piles, and they also like to hide in or under stumps and fallen trees. So those are some good places to start looking. The next bug we're going to talk about is the Katydid, which I think is a funny name. Katydids are related to crickets and grasshoppers, which I'm sure you guys have all seen. There are 6,400 types of katydids in the world. That's a lot of different types. They might be tricky to find because they're green, just like grasshoppers and crickets, and so they blend in with their environment because they like to be on leaves. They are nocturnal. Do you guys know what nocturnal means? It means that they like to stay awake in the night and sleep during the daytime. So your best bet to find a katydid is to look in the evening. And did you know that they have antennas on their heads, and that's how they help find that's how they find their way around during the nighttime. They don't use their eyes, they use their antennas to sense where they are in the world. The ones that you guys are going to be finding in Vermont are called the true katydid. And the reason they have their name Katydid is because the sound that they make, it sounds like they're saying Katydid, 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 Katydidn't, which is kind of cool. Good luck on your hunt for them. The next bug or insect that we're going to be learning about or trying to find this week is the lady beetle. You guys probably know of it as the ladybug, and they're not very hard to find. There are over 450 different kinds of ladybugs in North America. So just in America, there are over 450 kinds. That is a lot of different kinds of ladybugs. Also, ladybugs are really helpful for growing crops. They help crops like strawberries and vegetables grow. So if you see ladybugs in the garden, you should leave them there. That's also a good place to look if you have a garden. It's a good place to try to find ladybugs. They eat something called aphids. Aphids are like small green or black flies that are harmful to the crops. So they get rid of those pests, and that's how they help the crops. The last bug we're going to talk about is the Japanese beetle. These are also very common, and I'm sure you've seen them around before. Maybe you just don't know the name of them. The Japanese beetle is that little bug that has like a greenish, shiny tint on their wings. And they can be found in gardens and on plants all over Vermont. It's actually not a good bug. They're pests. They eat our crops. So yes, you can find them in the gardens, but you should take them out of the gardens because we don't want them in there. Japanese beetles didn't originally live in America. They actually were brought here in 1916, and that's why they're considered pests, because they're not originally in Vermont. So I hope that you can find Japanese beetles. Feel free to catch them and relocate them out of your gardens. All right, I hope you guys have luck finding these 4 beetles, or not 4 beetles, 4 bugs, and I will see you guys next week.